Good evening and welcome to Conscious Gatherers. My name is Beverly Thompson and I'm here with Royce.
Hello.
And today's date is May 31st, 2022. And we welcome you all to our 69th episode podcast. So, it's been a while. So tonight we have things to share with you that happened today. So, pretty interesting day. And I would have to say it started off for me this morning, and I felt like I was really high on caffeine, one way of putting it. So I was like, really jazzed up. And I'm like, okay, what the heck, And so I met with Royce for lunch, and as we're having lunch, I'm going to let you then continue with the story.
Yeah, we both. Bev said, "Do you feel funny?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm jacked," and she was too. So that was really funny. But we zeroed in on it to see if we could tell where that was coming from, because we felt like we were picking up on something, and it turned out that there was a craft in the sky over us, rather low and rather large, but not the largest that we've seen. And when we say what we've seen, it's interchangeable, the physical eyes and what we see with our inner eyes, because we see it pretty much the same. It's both a for sure thing. We don't have to question it anymore.
Yeah.
But what we got further from that craft being above was that there was like a conclave taking place, and just to be brief, the conclave being gathered together is a lot of different beings here and elsewhere represented.
Here mean the earth.
Yes, and for the benefit of the earth and benefit of the truth being exposed.
Yes. It was rather interesting. And because I looked at Royce and I said, "Do you see what I'm seeing?" Or I don't know how I phrased it. And I didn't tell her what I was seeing. And then she put her hands up, like a large craft. And I said, "Yeah." So it was like, whoa. And so that's when we noticed that there was a meeting taking place.
Yeah.
And
and there was more than one craft. Another one came in that was gargantuan.
Yeah.
It dwarfed the other.
Yeah. And the other one, I write later. I wrote some of this down so I could remember, because some of the stuff starts coming through, and like, okay. And so the other craft, it was huge, and I felt it was behind the sun, or a little over to the from my vantage point to the left of the sun, and then and I was thinking maybe a little behind, but you felt it was Royce. I think you felt it was a little bit in front.
Well, just to the left, just to the left of where the sun was then.
It's huge. It's a lot. I felt we both feel this craft is a lot larger than the Earth.
Oh yeah.
Does that tell you anything about what's out there? In fact, this Earth is called many people, and in my writings, they've called it Starship Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So makes you look at Earth a little bit differently.
Yeah. And there's something about that those crafts showing up today too. I know there have been a lot of people who have been getting really down on some of the shenanigans going on our planet, and so I'm just mentioning that because we have help. We definitely have help, and there are others who are helping us right now.
Right. I'm going to mention this because we felt their discussions is on revealing everything.
Yeah.
And that's what I got, everything. And they were discussing how that this information is going to be disseminated to us. So a lot, even though we've talked about this in other episodes, but this time it just seemed like it was imminent. I mean, I feel it's definitely imminent, but it's sooner than later. Even though some people are getting frustrated, why isn't this happening? Why hasn't this done anything about this? So on and so forth. I read about some of the stuff every day. People get frustrated, and like, why aren't they doing anything about it? Well, they are, and we don't know the full story. But a lot of that information, and we're talking about disclosure. We're talking about those have, so-called run the earth.
Disclosure in many different areas.
There you go.
Clear across the board.
Yeah.
In every way you can think of it. So
yeah.
the truth has a funny way of outing itself, when the time is right.
When the time is right.
And the time is now.
The time is definitely now. So it's like,
well, we could both feel it. That's why we were jacked.
Yes. It's like, I was going to put my bare feet on the ground to help me ground myself in, but we're in a restaurant. Guess I still could have done it. But anyway, sometimes you wonder, okay, did I have too much coffee this morning, or what's going on? And this went on for quite a while for me before we even had lunch. So started out early, and I thought, okay, just, things are going to let me know what's going on. And so obviously, it came up that we saw this ship, and it was relatively low.
Yes, very low.
So anybody listening that have the inner eye to see may have noticed it also. So anyway, it's pay attention. It definitely got our attention.
Yes.
All right. To move on, we asked a lot of questions, and we did get more information, and we're going to share that with you now. And jump in, Royce. I mean, I'm channeling, then she's channels, and so, but I'm going to read a lot of this of what I said and what you Royce said. Royce has a little eye issue right now, so prefers not to look at writing.
Yeah, my eyes were dilated today, so it's
a little hard
to read.
Hard to focus on words, especially when I scribble when I'm channeling. Because I always ask a lot of questions, and it's like, okay, what are we? I was asking, okay, what are we supposed to do with this, and what are we to tell the masses? What's for us? What do we tell the masses? All of that. So that's what we're doing, and and that's what came up is what we feel we can share with you all. So you're welcome to send this on to share this information if you feel so led to do so. But a lot of things are going on, and it's time for us to understand that a lot has gone on. A lot has gone on in the earth in the past, and things are being revealed.
Yes, and just hold yourself as sure as you can without buying into things that bring you down. When you feel yourself being brought down by news or people or anything, just remember that how you are in service with your energy to the rest of the planet, it's up to you. So grab a hold of yourself. Snap out of it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Hold your energy strong.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad you said that because it's needed. I'm writing a lot of this down as she's saying it because things come to us. But hold your energy strong! ! So do that. All right. Here are some of the words that were shared with us. Be not dismayed. Help is on the way. The truth is being disclosed. Those of the light will be known as those of the light. Those who follow the way of the darkness will be taken out. Be not afraid. Peace is by no means the end result. Peace is the rule by which it will be. The nomenclature of wayward souls is the rhetoric of endless lies. On this, peace and truth go hand in hand. The vibration of it is not only heard, it is also felt. It is recognized by the body, by the truth that it is. By this know ye the truth. It's all about the discernment factor.
Yeah.
Okay, anything you want to say yet?
Nope, I think that
All right.
kind of said it.
All right. Moving on. That's essentially what Royce was channeling, and then this is what came forth through me. You have lived through many lifetimes. You and others like you are assisting those. All right, I'm reading this for the first time. Okay. You and others like you are assisting those who are stuck in Goop. I got the word Goop, G-O-O-P. So it's like the word I don't use very often. Anyway, the Goop is being cleaned out. Much of this Goop will be displayed. What has gone on before. This is, okay, much of this Goop will be displayed, what has gone on before. However, not everything will be shown. This is moving beyond the threshold of forgiveness. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Moving beyond the threshold of forgiveness. Wow. Okay. Into a plurality of life to understand this of life. Oh, just a moment here. To understand this plurality is to understand the composition of the matrix and the physical bodies that inhabit this matrix. This is not only for this planet, but many other planets as well. The platitude, meaning the platitude of some of these beings, is being displayed or will be displayed. We are to show the way of freedom, teach the way of freedom, and the old ways of fear and ignorance will fall away. Out of the ashes, Miss Liberty will rise in all her glory and magnificence. And the last words I got, rev up your engines and the power of light will prevail. So you, Royce, were seeing Lady Liberty. And can you remember that vision?
Oh, back a year or so ago.
No, today.
Oh, today. That was you that saw Miss Liberty.
Well, I did too, but after you, I thought it was after you mentioned it. You saw her holding more than the torch. She was holding.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, what's written on that, what the thing that she's holding, it wasn't only that, but it was the Declaration of Independence. So it was more than just one thing. It was a blend of energies that freedom is built upon.
There you go. And Lady Liberty, we think of the United States. Of course, France gave us Lady Liberty. But what I'm seeing, this is not only the United States. This is for our world and worlds beyond our world.
Yes. Yes, and everything that we do here on this planet affects everybody else, everywhere else.
Yeah.
Everybody feels it. And everything they do, we're affected by that too.
Yeah. Because we're all one.
Yep.
We're all part of Creator. Well, back in 2003, I channeled a writing. This is in my first book, Mystery of the Universes. Anyway, in 2003, I channeled a book called The Book of Divine Surrender. And we did talk about this in one of our podcasts a long time ago. I think when we first started the podcast, when I started the podcast with Terry Palma. But anyway, I'm going to repeat this because it's coming up again. And so I'm going to share that with you now. It says this book of Divine Surrender explains just what this means. The decree was written long ago that the time would come when all would be in alignment for the peoples to be in the position that they would surrender to the God within and follow the path of righteousness in their daily lives. They will see the same in every individual and know that each individual has their own agenda that is to be experienced only by that person. No one can take away another's experiences or right to experience. Important. This book is being maintained in the archives of the Library of Congress of the United States. It is indeed an ancient book, one that was used in making the Declaration of Independence. All right, here's the actual writing. We hold these truths that all men are created equal. Man is and of the Creator. Each man has his own tasks, separate from the next man. Each man is to follow his own instructions. As each man's instructions are not the same, yet all men interrelate with one another. Each man, a sovereign being, shall integrate his experiences for his own soul growth and evolution. All is done for the good of the whole that is our Creator. Paths or experiences are set for each soul before incarnation on the human level. This body type, male or female, is set into families that will nourish a soul's progression. This contract between the incoming soul and the souls of both the mother and father is made before entrance into the body that is being prepared within the womb of the mother. It makes no difference for the soul if the mother and father are in a relationship outside of coupling. The circumstances have already been agreed upon. With this understanding, all souls will evolve for their highest good. The internal God is the soul's connection to all that is. Knowing that it is one's connection to the source is the true listening to the divine. Understanding that man is the divine incarnate will remove any interference that may be created by outside sources. Thine own self be true is knowing that divine Creator resides in all man. Listen to the still voice. Listen and follow your own divine decree. Love thyself and know that all are God.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. In the writing, it just says that may be created by outside sources. That was in parentheses. There really is no outside sources because all is of Creator. All is Creator. And we talked about, I think, our last episode about all the stories that we have lived. And if I remember the correct word, they said that whopping stories they are. So, we've done it. We've done it all. But many of us have incarnated on this earth many, many lifetimes. And many of us have come in and said, okay, we're going to tell you the truth. And then many of us have been burned at the stake for doing so.
Yes, and amongst other things.
Yes, probably not real pleasant to remember all of those.
Yeah.
But I know they have happened, and it's like, we're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So anyway, this disclosure is revelations, or the big reveal. All these words have been being used, and indeed is happening. I mean, it's actually happening on a daily basis, and it's out there, and it's, it's keep your eyes open and keep your ears open. And that doesn't mean you have to follow the news or anything like that, because some of that is BS. A lot of it is. So a lot of things that we're being told is not what is happening. And so all of this information is coming out. Okay. Add to that, please.
I really didn't have anything to add to it. I was just getting caught up in the feeling of it.
Yeah, yeah. The writing that I just read about the book of the divine, the book of divine surrender, had asked about anything. Is there anything else that needs to be said about that book, that writing that helped form our Declaration of Independence? And they just said, yes, these writings became the fabric or foundation of the original laws of the United States of America. The founding fathers used them as guidelines. Now, have I seen that? Can I authenticate that? No. I started looking stuff up a long time ago, and oh man, there was a lot of different writings I could go into, and it was a little daunting actually. So, but any of you listening that have more information on this, please bring it forward, and then you can make your comments on our YouTube channel page, and share with all of us. We'd really appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, wow, things are going on, and today, being so strong and being jacked up, jazzed up, high in caffeine, which really wasn't. Some of many of you may have felt the same way, because the Earth is going through the transitioning, and many people are feeling all kinds of energies because of our vibrational rise within our bodies and the earth that we stand on.
And something just breezed through my mind. When people get upset and disheartened, you could be feeling those energies on their way out. So the energies that just do not serve us any longer. So hold that as a possibility. You may just be feeling the collective letting go of that stuff that doesn't fit anymore, unsavory stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially those of you that are very empathic. They think it may be yourself, but it may, you might be feeling the collective.
Yeah.
And so it's, and I think we're all going to be feeling this, and we were told again, do not be afraid, because we do have a lot of help. And that doesn't mean that we're low humans. It's quite the opposite, because we are a part of everything. Yeah. We are part of Creator. We are Creator. So, we're starting to realize that. And so it's really be that strength, and hold your energy strong, as Royce mentioned early on in this podcast, because it's very important right now. And just hold the knowledge of who and what you truly are, and these divine beings. Know it. Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more of this victimhood. If you have that, figure out where it's coming from.
Yeah. And sometimes other people say things just because they're having a bad day or whatever, going through their own stuff. And they may say stuff and it sounds like it's being directed toward you. Please try to act like a duck and just let it roll off your back, because it's not yours unless you accept it as such.
Yeah. And if you accept it as such, think of how that feels.
Yeah. Not very good.
Not very good. And I use the word BS a lot.
Yeah, she does.
All right.
Just kidding.
No, I do that. It's like I get tired of hearing all this BS coming from people. It's like, no, look at how beautiful you are, and I know a lot of people are going through a lot of these, questioning that they, if they've had issues in their childhood or whatever it may be, and they're very hard on themselves. And this has gone on for years. It's like, come on, get over it.
Yeah.
And I have called people out, and I said, that's a bunch of BS. Look how beautiful you are. And it's time to acknowledge it. And the more that we acknowledge it, again, the further that we'll go into this, we want it's called Ascended Earth I don't know if I want to use that word. I've used the word ascended, but into a higher vibratory earth. And then those beings that follow that darkness will be out. A lot of them are already out of here, but they're still being let go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there another word came across. No, should I shut my writing, my book? But anyway, just realize that is going on, and I honestly don't wish harm on anybody. But if they cannot see beyond the darkness, and that's what they're putting out is darkness, then it's like let go. And it's what we were told earlier. What I mentioned earlier, it's beyond forgiveness. And that actually really surprised me that even came up.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean we go out and judge everybody that's doing this, because sometimes we don't know what part they're playing in this whole revelation.
Yeah, and that's something I was going to say at the end about how, we just came through Memorial Day. And the thing that we were remembering were those who have fought and who have done sundry different jobs in trying to keep the peace and the freedoms that we have, trying to keep them intact as a country. And I was thinking about the people on the other side of that. The people on the other side of the conflict, they're trying to fight for their cause as well. So here we have, two people facing off, each of them trying to do the other in, when we're all in this boat together. Each of us are trying to win the fight, So you have some of these soldiers who we have fought against, they're truly, when they're at home, nice people, kind people who don't want to do anything to hurt anyone. And then they get caught up in this war machine and told that you have to go and kill somebody, which is against everything that they believe, just like us. I don't think there's truly anybody that really wants to kill somebody. It goes against the grain of life. And so just what I'm saying is, please remember that there are two sides to that coin. Mm-hmm. But it's just one coin. And so mm-hmm. I am very grateful for all the people who laid down their lives for the cause of peace, of freedom, for the United States of America and for everywhere else.
Yeah, all countries.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep in mind, there's a lot of division calling right now, and I think that's lessening because people are starting to see through it. And they're seeing through the BS, and because it is BS, and because of those that have wanted to control and keep the control of the planet. And I won't go into all of that because there's a lot of other people that have done that, and want to lessen the population of the earth. I mean, it's in writing, it's in our faces. Mm-hmm. So that all of that is being exposed, but it's disclosure on all levels.
Yes.
That is going mm-hmm. on. And so this is being worked out. That's what we're seeing today, the meeting, the conclave, and dissemination of that information. So, we didn't see how that was going to be disseminated or anything like that. I think they're trying to be as gentle, but they're going to have to, it's time for this information to be out. And it's going to be really soon. Real soon. So, should I even say? I did get June, but please don't hold me to that because
use your discernment.
Use your discernment, because things happen, and and even though the best intentions are out there, things may change because they have to change for the betterment of humankind. So we'll see how this all comes out, but the more that we are comfortable in our own skins, the more that we are loving within ourselves, the more that we love others. And that's what this is all about. About peace is really the way Earth will be.
Yeah, the rule.
The rule. There you go. All right. Anything else you want to add?
I want to thank you to everyone who's here on this beautiful planet, everyone who has fought in wars, everyone who is not. Just being here, who you are, loving who you are.
It's time for change. This is big change. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Love yourself. Love yourself unconditionally, please.
Yeah.
And know that we're in all this together. Be not afraid. And start celebrating. Laugh. Have fun.
Reader's Digest had that thing at the back of their little magazine for years and years. I'm sure they still do. Laughter is the best medicine, and it really is.
Yeah, it is. Definitely is. Heck, a lot more fun.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. And our next episode is June 13th, 2 weeks from tonight. And we'll see what else happens in the next couple of weeks, and that might be very interesting. So leave it at that. Thank you. Love you all.
Love you.
Good night.
Good night.